We received the diagnosis prenatally. It was probably around 19, 20 weeks when we received the diagnosis. And I remember being completely surprised, shocked, scared, sad about all of it. And, just wondering what that would mean for our family.
She was a puddle of tears outside of the OB's office. After we got the diagnosis, they talked about how the scans, the valves looked abnormal. And then we got a confirmation after, I think you did an ultrasound,
Ultrasound
at the cardiologist's office. I mean, for me, it was just like, okay, bracing for impact. Entering into an arena that's unfamiliar to both of us. And I knew that added stress to her would be worse for Zoe. So I tried to stay as calm as possible, keep her as calm as possible. But, it's kind of like you go in my brain kind of switched into survivor mode pretty much. And pretty much stayed in that mode for a long time, even after Zoe's passing.
It was determined when Zoe was in the hospital, it was determined that she needed to have a surgery that would essentially help, with some of the function on her heart. And she was around 2 months old. And I remember being really nervous, asked the doctors a lot of questions. And it was just a lot of decisions that we had to make that was pretty terrifying, because she was just so small and, still so fragile. And me and Ben, we kind of just discussed, our options with the doctors and what it is that we could do. And I remember the nerves for both of us and how that felt.
Yeah, I think when she had the band on her heart to help restrict the amount of blood going to her lungs that she could breathe better, the surgery was successful, but she unexpectedly had a cardiac arrest like 24 hours after that. I remember how bewildered everyone was and how disappointed all the doctors and the nurses were, because this was kind of an unexpected impact. It was obviously a huge setback for everything that happened. They were fortunately able to revive Zoe at that time, but I would say that the recovery was never fully complete after that, because that just led to a lot of additional complications. That was kind of, again, just a big blow. Like, it just takes your breath away when stuff like that happens. And the doctors don't know why. It just happened. And, you're trying to accept this terrible thing that has occurred, while still processing what specifically Zoe needs, what Tashina needs, what Alexis needs, what I need. Just feeling overwhelmed and just kind of white knuckling emotionally every single day, praying for the best, but preparing for the worst. That's how I really would describe my mindset throughout that whole process.
Receiving the diagnosis that Zoe had a heart defect, a friend connected me with the Healing Hearts Project. And I remember prenatally, just being in denial about it at first. I just kind of remember saying, I'll think about, if I want to do it or not. Just kind of pushing it off to the side at first, because I was like, maybe it's something as a family that we could just manage through and kind of handle together. But the closer I got to delivery, and then after Zoe was born, realizing all the complications that she had, I realized that support was huge for us, and we needed that level of support. We needed people to come alongside of us to walk through this journey with us together, and to kind of help us to brace for some of the things they may have experienced in their walks. And I feel like the Healing Hearts has just kind of done that for us. When Zoe was in the hospital, they provided meals, a gift card for us, and toiletries. I remember them sending a bag up to the hospital to kind of help aid us, and kind of support us. And many of the women that I've met on the Healing Hearts Project have become good friends. And I think that's important to kind of have someone that's in that same area of life that you're walking through, to kind of relate, to some of the things that you've been through, or some of the things that you're going through. So for me, it was big, and for our family, it was huge because we knew that we needed that extra layer of support. We don't have family locally here, so the Healing Hearts Project, some of my friends kind of became like a family to me because they prayed for us. They would ask what they could do. They would send meals. They would ask how Zoe was doing. They would check on me, call, text, just different things that I feel like it's really important for people to have during a situation that was just impossible for us.
Yeah, agree with everything that Tashina said. It's always good to know that you've got other people who understand what you're going through and are willing to help you walk through that journey, wherever it leads you.
Friends during that time frame, I had a few people from the Healing Hearts Project, a few friends that offered to come sit with me, during the time that Zoe was in the hospital and after all the things that she was dealing with. And I remember there were so many days because, Ben was working and Alexis was at school. There were some days that I had to be there alone. So just knowing that someone was willing to come up to just sit with me and to just be there, for them to just be present was just really a nice thing. There were friends that were actually do I need to bring you food? Is there anything that your family needs? All those things, and I definitely would say that if there are people that are dealing with these types of things, I would encourage them to reach out, because you just never know how someone being there could just impact and just help you along the journey. So I just think it's super important to reach out if you need help from other people when you're dealing with such a traumatic situation.
I would encourage anyone who's going through a journey like this to talk about it. Reach out to people that you trust and talk about what you're going through. Don't go this journey alone. You want to have as many people as possible around you to help pick you up when you're down. There are a lot of people in the world that do not know or comprehend the pain that you're feeling and don't know how to help, but they'll try anyway, and you want to take their help anyway. And then there are communities like the Healing Hearts Project that do comprehend the pain that you're feeling and are willing to assist. It's important that you take all the help that you can get because you need it.